Have you ever felt like your own mind was turning against you? You open your eyes in the morning, and before your feet even touch the floor, your thoughts are already moving. Yesterday's mistakes begin replaying. Tomorrow's fears begin building. A small worry becomes a larger one, then another, then another. And before the day has even started, you already feel trapped. The strange thing is this: nothing outside has happened yet. The sky is still quiet. The world is still calm, but inside your head, a storm has already begun. Many people believe freedom means having no anxious thoughts, no doubts, no fear. But that is not how the mind works. The mind keeps producing stories, again and again. So what if peace does not come from stopping thought? What if it comes from learning not to be dragged away by it? Today's story is about a man named Kale and an old lesson that showed him how to unlock the prison inside his own mind. Stay with this story, because at the end, you will have one simple physical gesture you can use anywhere to interrupt the spiral and return to yourself. Kale lived in a valley so beautiful that strangers stopped walking just to look at it. Low green hills, morning fog, a narrow river shining under the sun. He had a small garden, a modest home, and enough skill to keep life moving. From the outside, nothing seemed wrong, but Kale lived with a private torment. He worried about everything. When he planted seeds, he feared they would never grow. When they finally sprouted, he feared the rain would not come. If rain came, he feared too much of it. If the weather stayed calm, he worried it would change tomorrow. His mind never stopped. Every thought opened the door to another thought. Every fear called in a larger fear. He could be standing in the middle of sunlight with fresh soil in his hands and still feel as if disaster were only minutes away. His body worked. His body walked. His body answered people in the market. But his mind was somewhere else. Always running ahead. Always imagining loss, always preparing for pain that had not arrived. Kale was not living inside the present moment. He was living inside 100 futures his mind kept inventing, and every one of them ended badly. One evening, after another night of shallow sleep, Kale walked to the river. He sat on a smooth stone and stared at the current. The water moved easily, around branches, around rocks, around everything. It did not argue. It did not panic. It simply moved. Then an old woman appeared from the path above. She carried a bundle of reeds across her back. Her steps were slow but certain. She lowered the bundle onto the grass and sat beside him. "You look tired," she said. Kale gave a bitter smile. "I am tired. My mind never leaves me alone. When one thought ends, another begins. When one fear fades, the next one appears." The woman listened without interrupting. Then she pulled one reed from the bundle. She placed it gently on the surface of the river. The water caught it at once. Both of them watched as it drifted away. "Your thoughts are like that," she said. "They arrive, they float into view, and then they are meant to keep moving." Kale frowned. "That is easy for you to say. They do not feel like reeds. They feel like warnings. They feel important." The woman nodded. "Yes, that is why the trap works." She picked up a second reed. This time, she held it tightly in her fist. Her knuckles whitened, her forearm tensed, her shoulder lifted. "Look closely," she said. "The reed is light, but the holding creates the strain." She raised her fist. "Your thoughts arrive. That part is natural. But then you grab them. You question them. You fight them. You feed them. And in trying to control them, you give them weight." Kale looked at her hand, then back at the river. She asked him quietly, "What are you afraid of today?" Kale answered at once, "My crops may fail. If they fail, I will have nothing to trade. If I have nothing to trade, I will disappoint my family. And if I disappoint them, then I will prove that I was never enough." The woman turned to him. "Has any of that happened?" Kael lowered his eyes. No. Then notice this, she said. Your body is here. Your life is here. But your suffering has gone somewhere else. You are carrying pain from a story that does not exist yet. She slowly opened her hand. The reed slipped free. The current took it without effort. Thought is not the prison, she said. Identification is. The moment you believe you must hold every thought, the prison door closes. Then the woman stood. So let the body teach the mind. Kael rose with her. Close your fist, she said, as tight as you can. He obeyed. His hand clenched. His jaw tightened. His shoulders rose. His breathing shortened. Feel that, she whispered. That is what you do every time you cling to a fearful thought. You turn a passing thing into tension through your whole body. Then she said, now breathe in slowly and open your hand. Kael unfolded his fingers one by one. His palm opened, his shoulders dropped, his chest loosened. A subtle warmth moved through his arm. The woman nodded. This is the gesture. When the mind grips open the hand, when the mind rushes, soften the body. When fear begins to circle, return to the present through the palm. Kael did not transform in a single day. That was not the miracle. The miracle was smaller than that. He remembered to practice. Again, and again, and again. The next morning, while working in the garden, a familiar fear appeared. What if the season failed? His chest tightened. Then he remembered. He stopped, opened his hand, and felt the soil resting against his skin. That afternoon at the market, another spiral began. What if prices drop? What if next month is worse? Again he paused. Again he opened his hand. Again he returned to what was actually there. Warm light, human voices, the weight of a basket, the sound of sandals against stone. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. And Kael began noticing something important. The thoughts did not disappear, but their authority did. They still arrived, but they no longer ruled. They became like weather, present, changing, temporary. Some days his mind still raced. Some nights old fears still returned. But now he had a doorway. He no longer believed that every thought deserved obedience. He no longer mistook mental noise for prophecy. He could feel worry arise without becoming it. He could notice fear without kneeling before it. He could let a thought appear and still remain where life actually was. In the breath, in the body, in the work of his hands. Months later, Kael met the old woman again beside the same river. She looked at him once and smiled. You learned, she said. Kael smiled back. I am learning. She laughed softly. That is better. The mind will always move. That is its nature, just as the river moves. But peace begins when you stop trying to build a house around every passing reed. So when your mind begins to trap you again, and it will do something small, something simple, open your hand. Let the fingers spread. Take one slow breath. Feel the air. Feel the weight of your body. Feel where you are. This gesture is not magic. It does not erase life. It does not erase difficulty, but it interrupts the spell. It reminds the body that you do not need to grip every fear. It reminds the mind that not every thought is a command. You are not the panic. You are not the loop. You are not every story your mind creates. You are the space in which those stories appear. You are the sky. Thoughts are weather. Let them pass. Open your hand, breathe, and come back to the life that is here.